summer. I like just hearing the birds chirping and like the nature sounds, and there's a park not far from my house with like walking trails and things like that. So I would just kind of go and do my little walks, not have my headphones or anything like that. It was very peaceful and I enjoyed it. And really it's kind of like therapy too, because it gives you time to think about things, time to tune out if you just want to listen to the birds. Like, I don't know. I enjoy walking. It's like I live for walking basically these days. Also like trying to eat healthy, which that's hard to do too, because you will get the advice from your doctors that will tell you like just eat what you can, because they know that sometimes you're going to be nauseous, you may not have an appetite, things start to taste really freaking gross and weird. Like sometimes your taste buds like completely change. So the first time, now I've had cancer twice. So the first time I went through treatment, I kind of took that advice of just eat what you can. And for some reason that time the only thing I can tolerate was like ice cream. Because cancer again will give you like the chemo will give you sores inside your mouth. It goes down like down your, not even your throat, like your esophagus hurts. So like just eating food in general hurt, like swallowing water hurts sometimes. So for some reason that first time ice cream was what I ate most of the time, which really wasn't good, but it's the only thing that tasted the way it should. Like vanilla ice cream tasted like vanilla ice cream. Everything else didn't taste right to me. Um, yeah, then I also put on 20 pounds. So, and I was walking and doing stuff too, but whatever. So this time my taste buds changed where I didn't like sweets. Like, so everyone's different and every treatment's different, I guess. This time for some reason this like sweets really disgusted me. They tasted really salty all of a sudden. Like my aunts had made me muffins and things like that. I had to put them in the freezer because I'd take a bite and it would taste like pure salt. Water tasted salty. So I was pretty much like living off of eggs, like scrambled eggs, and steamed spinach. For whatever reason, vegetables still kind of tasted the same. And to me, most vegetables just taste like dirt. But that was a familiar taste, I guess. So like it didn't bother me. Yeah. So what I would kind of do for like I wasn't really like super hungry either. Like I didn't have like a big appetite. Normally I do. I normally have like a very good appetite. Like I'm a good eater. Um, so what I would do is just make scrambled eggs every morning slash like between 11 and 12. I would do my scrambled eggs and I would make them with cottage cheese. Like I would put it in, I have like a little KitchenAid food processor, so I would put it in there and scramble it up because then it was just more protein, because you do need protein. Your body needs protein to heal. So I couldn't eat meat. Meat was just not doing it for, like, most things weren't doing it for me. So for some reason I can live off of my scrambled eggs and steamed spinach, and that's what I was eating for the majority of the summer until the end when I just couldn't eat anything or get liquids in me and I was like severely dehydrated. But up until then I tried to keep myself as healthy as possible, and it was the best I can do. So I was walking, I was trying to like get that protein in me. And you can buy protein drinks too. Like I know a lot of that stuff's like super processed and whatever, but you know what? It is what it is, and there's not really much you can do about it because again, you need to get stuff in you. Your body isn't going to heal if it's starving itself, so, and dehydrated. So again, like when water started to taste funny, I would get like the Gatorade Zeros. Those, for some reason, the purple ones seem to be like the only one I can even remotely tolerate. So I would get the purple Gatorade. What else was I eating? That was about it. Like it wasn't a lot. Like my diet consisted of like eggs, spinach, and purple Gatorade, and sometimes water if I can get it in me, which is sad, but that's what I was doing. I was still walking all the time, and it's not like I was starving in the beginning. Like I was eating, but eventually, like anything bread related, bread, cracker, stuff like that, I could not eat them anymore. We have a Cobb's bakery right by my house, and my husband was buying these delicious hot dog buns that I was just making sandwiches sometimes in, and all of a sudden, like one day they were delicious and the next day, like disgusting. And I haven't touched one since because like I just in my head I it tastes disgusting to me, and it's probably fine, and I'm sure it's fine now. What else was another thing that tasted like it was good and then it was bad? There were so many things, like so many things. Yeah, I couldn't eat any like bread, pizza, pasta, like cuz even that you get like I had like just horrendous heartburn. So heartburn's like a big thing too, and I was living off of like Pepcid ACs for a while. Um yeah, it's very weird how things like all of a sudden are good one day and then the next day disgusting. So yeah, by the end of the summer I was basically like I had dropped like a ton of weight. I was not well. I had pneumonia, like I was quite sick, but up until then I kept myself like as healthy as possible. And once I got over like the pneumonia, which that was a whole thing, whatever, went to the hospital, got my meds, I was fine. Then I started to feel like really good because I think I got the pneumonia about 3 weeks after I finished my last chemo. So I was like super bummed out when I was in Emerge, and I'm like, this is the week I'm supposed to start like feeling good, and then I don't have to go to chemo at the end of the week. Like I'm done now, and I was just like so bummed out that I was like in the hospital. But anyway, they gave me meds. I was fine like 2 days later, and I was back to like out walking because then you have to like kind of get your strength back up too because I had surgery coming up. I'm doing radiation like right now. I just started a few days ago. So there's yeah, you got to try to keep yourself as healthy as you could. So my advice to anyone, get your protein, whichever, however you can get it in. If that means protein drinks, protein powders, whatever. Um, Try not to eat the junk foods because, like, honestly, when you're going through cancer treatments and chemo, they're pumping you full of steroids, all that stuff. Like, you're probably going to put on weight regardless. Like that's the like I mean I put on 20 pounds the last time I had cancer within 4 months. And I don't know if it was I think a combination of all the drugs that I was on as well as eating ice cream probably for 4 months didn't help either. You know what I mean? And then it's very hard to get off. Like, it's very easy to put 20 pounds on in 4 months, but you can't always lose 20 pounds in 4 months. So, and then you're already like, you're bald, you have no, you have no eyebrows or eyelashes, no hair on your head. Like, then add 20 pounds to the mix. Like, it's not always like, it's not fun. So, yeah, this time for whatever reason the sweets just didn't do it for me. I ended up like actually losing weight because I just couldn't eat. But yeah, I didn't feel for some reason. I think all the walking also kept maybe the bloating or like the water retention down because you get like swollen. Like the steroids will like make your face really swollen. I remember my legs, I had the last time I did cancer treatments, I couldn't even zip my boots up over my legs. Like that's how swollen everything got and like retaining water, I guess. So I think this time the walking really helped. Again, not everyone, people may not have the energy, but I think it really will like help just with how you feel in general, trying to get out and get a little walk in, even if it's around the block, if it's something like it does help. It definitely helps. Walking, liquids, and protein are going to be like your best friends during chemotherapy. Absolutely.